rolling?
It's recording, yeah.
It's recording. Okay, well, you're going to have a lot of editing to do, my
Yeah,
friend.
I know that.
Okay, well.
You don't think I know that?
You know that. Well, you want to do your intro?
Oh, my little intro?
Your little intro? You want to get us going?
Well.
Well.
Look who the it is. I'm Brother Dan.
And Sister Lisa.
And this is the podcast that you haven't heard in a while called Siblings in Zion. We told you.
We'd be back.
We did say we'd be back, and we said we don't know when. And
But we said we would be.
Yeah.
How you doing?
We're making good. Oh, boy. How am I doing?
Oh, boy.
I mean, a lot of things have been changing around here.
A lot of change.
One of the reasons that we decided to do this now is that it'll be the last time we record in this house where we started it and where we've been living together.
We started in Japan, okay?
Well, the idea came in Japan, but...
Yeah, but the first episode was technically recorded in Japan in secret without my consent.
But that wasn't the first episode. That was episode 3, actually. So shut your face.
Okay, fine.
Let the man speak.
Okay.
Turn the time over to me. Okay.
Okay, and I take that time now.
I'll take that time. Thank you.
And the time is mine.
Yeah, Lisa decided to leave me.
So Lisa decided.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's
She's going out on her own. She's a big girl, big dreams. And then there's no one else to live with in my big house, so I have to go too. And that's the long and the short of it. So we wanted to do one more here. We have a loose plan. Lisa has...
emphasis on loose.
Yeah. She has a plan to share what we might call shit my BYU professor said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think it's a great title.
There it is.
I mean, the one I remember off the top of my head was just that we were in developmental psychology. Psych majors took that class. Some nursing students took that class. It was a foundational class. And my professor, I remember vividly, said, if you want to have good sex, get married.
What the f*** does that mean? The whole point is if you want to have sex at all, get married.
Sure.
If you want to have good sex, get married.
I mean, and I was so dumb at the time. I was just like, yeah, but like...
yeah, because you're in love.
Yeah! Celestial sex.
Yeah, because you've only known each other like 2 months, so it's going to be really exciting.
Right. I think she was basing it off of, quote, research, and I don't know what the, quote, statistics were sourced from, but I think she was just saying... yeah, if you're going to have sex frequently, it makes sense that you would be married because you would be living with that person. So just by sheer, I don't know if she's saying just like by sheer proximity, you're going to have sex more, or like because you're familiar with that person. I don't understand. Like, it's one of those things where I'll
never forget it.
I remember sitting there thinking it made so much sense. And now I'm just so easily able to debunk that.
Yeah,
it's not even funny.
What sense is there in that at all?
There's none. Just being married doesn't mean
that has
anything.
Nothing to do with it. Yeah, no.
Right, like it doesn't matter if you're married or not. Yeah. You can have a deep connection with someone, or not, and have a great sexual experience with someone. It's just so silly that she was like, if you really want to have good sex, get married.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Don't be single, because single people don't have sex, obviously.
Never heard of that. That's science.
Or like maybe she was thinking you don't have to use birth control if you're married. I'm just so confused. Why? What is good sex to her? Did she ever have sex with more than one person?
Also, just why did she say that to you at all?
And why was that
appropriate to say?
Ever?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, that's a doozy.
Yeah. So you can see why that sticks out for me.
By the way, we are lighting a candle Gay Away the Prey is the name, and it's by the Exmo Candle Co.
Ever heard of them?
Our buddies. Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hi.
This particular candle comes from our friends at Latter-day Lesbian podcast, Mary and Shelley.
LDO.
I would imagine most people that know us know them. I know that
Of course.
I work for them, and I have, dude, it's coming up on 5 years since I started producing that show. Editing,
That's
post-production.
a good chunk of time.
Yeah, I love it. Still doing it.
A Joseph Smith quote, God will judge not on what they have not, but according to what they have.
Huh?
And then I wrote, the more I read this, the more I worry about myself.
What?
Oh,
I'm
God.
really worried.
I'm really worried about myself. No. Do you remember Plato's Cave?
Yeah,
How ironic that I first learned that at BYU-Idaho.
right. You want to explain that to people who don't know?
If I remember correctly, there's people in a cave
Mhm.
in this hypothetical situation.
Like a thought experiment.
Yeah. And they are chained, so they can't leave.
Mhm.
And they are facing the cave wall.
Mhm.
And there's no natural light, but there's some kind of fire. Well, they don't know. All they can see is the shadow of what's going on reflected on the wall. Presumably there's a fire, and all they can see is the symbols that are made.
Right.
And the experiment that my philosophy teacher had us do was we held our hand up, and the ceiling lights was the backlight. And then on the desk, it created a shadow. And so whatever shape you made, you could see the shape on the desk, but just by looking at the shape, you can't tell what your hand is doing.
Mhm.
And so it's just a comment on lots of things, but mostly translation of ideas.
To the people in the cave, the shadows are their reality, but it's not actually reality, and they don't know
Right.
the difference.
Totally. And then someone escapes and sees like actual sunlight
Right.
and tries to come back and explain it to them. And they're like, what?
What are you talking about?
Sorry? And that's how I felt as a missionary. I saw the light of day, okay?
In the Florida sun.
And they don't understand me because they're in a cave. Okay? That's why.
Okay.
Okay.
Cave of drugs. Marijuanas. Jazz cigarettes.
Oh my God. Consecration. It's not a commandment yet.
Oh.
All I do is covenant that I and I alone will consecrate myself. That's much more powerful.
That is much more powerful.
Is that right? In the temple, you like promise that you would obey the law of consecration?
Yeah.
But it's not actually a commandment yet.
I believe that's right.
But it's still pretty messed up that you promise that at all.
Yeah. You give everything whenever they ask for it.
Yeah. That you would give all your time and all your talents and all your possessions.
Possessions, yeah.
Yeah. Give us all your money.
If we ask for it, you give it. And don't you bitch about it.
So glad I don't go to the temple anymore.
Can you imagine?
Bow your head and say yes. Oh, God. No!
I say no!
No! I want to know if people have corrective nightmares. You know how you can have a corrective emotional experience? Wonder if people have corrective nightmares where they like
If anyone
are on their mission, but they actually escape.
If anyone would like to leave, do it now.
Or in the temple.
And you're like,
Yeah,
I know
actually.
better. I'm out of here.
Bye. They're like, we were just saying that to be nice. Sit the fuck down.
This is not actually an option.
No, it's just a technicality. Plato, there's a thing that says Plato to Christian God. Plato, abstract, rational, universal, no body, no parts, no passion, or objective, perfect and the same. And the Christian God, that's why they hated Joseph Smith. He saw God with a body.
That's why they hated him.
That's why they hated Joseph Smith.
He actually saw Heavenly Father and Jesus.
Exactly.
And they had glorious, glowing bodies, and they looked exactly the same according to that painting that I saw
according to the painting
that I saw in the chapel.
they're exactly the same age, but they're father and son.
Yeah, they're both gray, and they have exactly the same face.
Mm-hmm. This teacher talked about how textbooks are like smoothies with pig enzymes.
I'm sorry. What?
He was weird. He was from France originally.
Oh, well, that explains it.
And he had us read actual books, which is nice.
That's great.
But because he felt like textbooks did all the digesting for you, that they synthesized information, but you never read the original source. You're just reading someone's like opinion about something or their synthesization. That's not a word. Like,
yeah, let's go with it.
You're reading someone else's like blended up, digested version of primary sources.
I mean, that's Mormonism.
Yeah.
That's Joseph Smith.
Right.
Synthesizing information of
the
Bible, fanciful ideas about the supernatural and magic and all that kind of crap.
Right.
Folk magic.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, he specified pig enzymes?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
I don't know if he was saying that people actually do that.
Something seems lost in translation there.
Yeah. That like they used to add pig enzymes to things to break them down for people to more easily digest.
Ew.
I don't really know.
What are you saying?
It's been a long time. This is the class where I learned that color is a perception and not a sensation.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's what's hard is like I was learning things that are true mixed with a bunch of that that wasn't. And I didn't know how to like parse between the two.
Yeah. That's how people get indoctrinated.
Yeah. With pig enzymes.
Yeah. The horror.
You can never actually experience the real world because you are stuck in your own head. Your sensory experience is the only one you have. Categorical imperative. I should never act in such a way that my behavior wouldn't be morally applied as a universal maxim.
Okay. Big ideas over here.
Jeez. But that doesn't sound like a good idea.
It doesn't seem like a fully formed thesis.
Mm-mm.
Reality can't be experienced? Is that what you said?
Basically. Like, because you are you can't experience it. No, it's more like you can't experience the world as something other than yourself.
Right. Experience is the reality for us.
Right. You can never actually experience the real world. Maybe
well, then what
like
is the real world?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess the only person who could experience, the only entity that could experience the real world is the one that created it from your perspective.
Yeah, what is the real world if...
But by traditional Christian theology, God is outside the world, outside space and time. So we couldn't experience it either.
Oh my God.
Whoa. But not in Mormonism. He's on Kolob or near it or whatever. It's a very loose idea.
Yeah, I don't...
He doesn't have any blood, but he has bones and skin.
You can never actually experience the real world. How would you know that there's a real world to experience if you only have your experience?
Right.
Seems weird.
I understand what you're trying to say.
I think that these are notes my teacher said. Like, if you believe in like an objective form of things. Did you make your body? No.
No.
Okay, then it's not yours. It was given to you.
Whoa. Well, that's a leap.
The only thing that is truly ours to give is our will. And that's what he, capital H, really wants from us.
Give our will? What do you think you're saying there?
What do you think you're saying? It means your agency, like your will, your ability to choose your desires. That's what God wants from you. Is for you to like give up everything to him and want what he wants.
Did you make your body? No.
An Open Letter to Young Christians on Their Way to College by Stanley Howard Voss.
That's where that's from?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The ancient solution will not be popular in a society that is always looking for something new. Walk by faith in a world governed by sight. Don't shut your scriptures and stop looking for Christ. What are you looking for in a textbook? You want to hear a quote about Nietzsche?
Yeah.
Wow, this is so weird. Okay. Nietzsche is about choice, but he believes that eventually human beings are so set in their ways that they can't change. Nietzsche, in answer to Who Killed God, says, "We did." Truth is subjective to what one feels. Are emotions unintelligent? Well, think about spiritual experiences. You could explain a spiritual experience far better through a romantic argument than a rational argument.
You could understand spiritual experiences far better through a romantic argument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, religion is romanticized quite heavily. It's fairly divorced from rationalism. It has to be.
Mm-hmm. As soon as love becomes a goal, it loses its meaning.
What?
Put that in a Hallmark card.
Yeah, but why'd you write that down? When love becomes the goal, it loses its meaning? What the does that mean?
I'm sure.
The whole love is a goal in Mormonism. It's the love of your partner to make children that you love and ultimately return to God who you love and loves you.
I think maybe this person was confused.
Yeah.
No.
Man, what an education.
You're telling me.
Oh, we should specify this is BYU-Idaho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our duty to be in the debt of love to each other. By, is this Kierkegaard? He had us read an excerpt from Works of Love. Kierkegaard was Christian, right?
Yeah, I believe he was.
He basically had us read every Christian philosopher. You fact checking?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Soren Kierkegaard, Danish theologian. Yeah.
Nice.
Widely considered to be the first existentialist philosopher.
The father of existentialism?
He died at 42.
Woo! It's not that old.
No. Well, in 1855, I guess it wouldn't be that surprising. He lasted longer than Joseph Smith. By the way, ideas for other episodes that we've talked about are things like shit Joseph Smith said, shit Brigham Young said.
A lot of shit was said.
Yeah, a lot of shit has been said.
Descartes, the only thing I cannot doubt is that I am doubting. I just want you to edit this so that it's like just
boom,
random,
boom.
Just nonsensical pieces of
non sequiturs
sound from me. Science is as much belief-based as religion.
What?
I'm sorry.
It's kind of the opposite. It's kind of literally the whole thing about it.
Wow, I just laughed like a chipmunk.
Science is belief-based. What the fuck? How could you be so wrong? And be teaching the kids?
This is what I'm telling you. The atonement was in effect for Abraham. His future impacted his present. You're weird, according to psychology, if you believe that he was weird. What? The atonement is infinite because it covers everything and goes through all the past, present, and future, and is eternal because it lasts forever. It never runs out.
It never runs out.
Never runs out.
You're not weird. They're weird. It's not weird.
Time is relevant.
Relevant? Relative?
Relevant.
Time is relevant. Well, yeah. Did you write that down wrong or did they really say that?
I have no idea. That's what I wrote. He's talking about like quantum leaps and how everything is present in this psychology, and that's why prophets can access other spheres. And that's why the atonement spans the past, present, and future. Like, he's using pieces of science and then
What class is he teaching?
applying. This class was just called the history of psychology.
This should not be happening.
I know.
BYU should not exist.
It shouldn't. Why?
I think it's not going to eventually.
I hope not.
It's been under threat several times of discreditation.
Yeah, it's the weirdest process of learning something that exists, right? Like Gestalt psychology, a thing people learn, and then using that and applying it to try to make sense of like Mormon ideas.
Right.
It gets
a very
twisted.
specific modern Christian theology.
That, like, say everything happens in the relationship of now, because Gestalt is like very focused on the present. And he's talking about like repentance and
oh boy,
forgiveness is when you reinterpret your life and you don't feel the sting of like sin anymore, and you can change your past and your future, and you're doing all of that in the present because you're choosing right now.
Oy.
These notes are so silly. He's talking about synchronicity and how, you know, things in the present can explain other things.
Like, give us a beautiful example.
Like bigger meanings, you know, of life.
Such as?
Well, he said little things can be meaningful if you see someone you didn't expect to see. Little insects? Question mark.
What?
You trip over someone? What?
Oops.
What is truth? And then Christ with a
Christ.
But like, didn't Jung say, as an example of synchronicity, that like if you're thinking about a cicada or something, like some kind of bug, and then it flies through the window, and then it's like, what the fuck? I was just thinking about that, and then that happened. What? That must mean something. It's a sign.
I used to think about that when I was younger.
If something happened like that.
Quite a few times I would like think of someone. I remember vividly one that was like, hey, wait a minute. I thought about this girl that I knew that I hadn't, either she had gone to another school or had graduated a year ahead of me or something, so I hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
And she called. Like,
what?
That day. I was like, wait a minute, I just thought about
that. Means God is real.
Whoa, there it is. Boom.
Someone in my class
Proved
said
it.
Someone in my class said basically the 60s destroyed society.
Now, the 60s is when more and more people knew or understood or learned that you could be cool and have interesting experiences, and it's not like illegal or completely evil or detrimental. Like the 60s are pretty freaking rad, actually.
Pretty freaking rad.
That's
okay,
why
Keisha.
Okay. I mean, that's why we still listen to that music.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Did you ever heard of the Mamas and the Papas?
There was a toilet on their album cover. You know how disgusting that is? They had to cover it up.
Disgusting.
It was a huge controversy. The 60s, the thing was, the 60s was such a dichotomy of like the old goody two shoes, buttoned up, white bread, Americana clashing with the evolution of society in which people were more open-minded and letting in influences outside of that, like Eastern philosophies and schools of thought and drugs.
Hey, white bread makes a good sacrament. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's white bread or get out. It needs to be soft and chewy.
I don't know.
What are you thinking about?
You were talking about the dichotomy of the 60s. And then I was like, and Brother Dan is watching Mad Men for the 8th time.
I am. because it's a beautiful show. I mean,
It's beautiful.
the aesthetic is unbelievable.
Out of this world.
And it takes
That's
place.
weird. Aesthetics.
What?
Almost as soon as you said it. Synchronicity.
What?
I know.
What?
What? What? We are Latter-day Greeks.
What the does that mean? Latter-day Greeks.
We have underestimated the power of philosophy.
Well, that's true.
Do we think we're untouchable or unchangeable?
Are you making an equivalency between ancient Greek philosophers and Mormons? And I mean the royal you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. I guess so.
That's pathetic.
Or maybe he's shitting on the Greeks. I don't know.
We're better.
I don't know what's
I didn't know
happening.
anything.
Oh, nice. The most important calling is mother and father. The center is a family.
It's most important.
Try to hear and see what the Lord wants you to hear and see. Are you looking through his eyes?
How would you know?
You're looking through your
That's the
eyes or his?
That's the whole
Did you
damn thing.
take
How do you
Jesus'
know?
eyeballs?
How do you know what he wants? How do you know what he wants?
Just to ask.
It's an unending pursuit of something that you don't know. You don't know if you never know that you're doing it right.
My
So
happiness
you always fail.
doesn't come from within. It comes from serving others. Zion equals consecration. Government equals socialism.
What? Government equals socialism?
Uh-huh. G-O-V
I wish.
apostrophe T.
Not in these United States, it doesn't.
Mm-mm. Drug use. I don't ever want to put myself in a situation where I can't remember. I don't want there to be a gap in my consciousness. I don't want to forget who my family is.
How fucked up would you have to be?
I like how I thought that if you did drugs,
Who's my family? Where am I? Where did I come from? Where's my mommy?
Oh my god. I thought that if you did drugs, you just wouldn't know what you did, like at all, period. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah, but you still never done drugs. Obviously.
I've never done drugs.
No.
Obviously.
Obviously.
I mean, comparatively, really, I've never had
I mean, yeah.
drugs, honestly. Just reality enhancing natural substances.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Family 200 prep for temple marriage. Tattoo this on your back. Or if you're pregnant, to make sure you can read it, tattoo it backwards.
What?
Today is the day that you take the Matrix pill and you cannot unlearn what you are about to learn. I dare you to prove me wrong, is what she said. And then she proceeds to tell us the difference about men and women. That men are verbal and physical and need reassurance, and women need romance. And
This is a college class?
required to graduate from BYU-Idaho. I continue. Men need conscious and unconscious reassuring that she really does want to be with me today. Kissing. Tell him you really like being with him. Every single day.
Say it.
Period.
Doesn't matter if you mean it.
Capital. Recreational companion. They want a recreational companion.
Does that mean what I think it means?
It says if you do what they like to do. I don't know how to do this. Can you teach me? AKA paintball. They want you to be attractive.
Paintball.
Don't complain about your appearance. If he pays attention to you, he finds you attractive. Stop comparing yourself to other women. Men don't do that. Men don't compare themselves to others.
What?
It's whether or not they find you attractive that matters. Men want to be admired. They need to be needed, but don't want someone needy. Put it on your calendar and have that day be the day that you have them help you open the jar. Make a to-do list.
Oh, no.
There's no good way for a guy to flirt. The women category says they need romance, doing something for her that she needs without being asked. It's not always about gifts. Emotional closeness. Just talking, long talks, listening, don't give advice. Women want you to give them respect, and they want you to hold the priesthood. They want to be able to show off their husband, and they don't want to be embarrassed in public. They want family commitment. See how great it is when he holds a baby? He's so good at that. That's what the difference between men and women is. Did you know that? That's what they're looking for in each other.
That was the Matrix pill?
Yeah.
I wish we were doing this on video so you could see my face.
A gape.
I am bewildered right now. What the are you talking about? What are you basing this on?
I have no idea. The fact that she's married
is fucking garbage.
I remember her playing a Backstreet Boys song.
Oh, for fuck's
sake. The beginning of class. She always played a song at the beginning of class. Wow, it's really coming back to me now.
It's all coming back to me now.
Do you want to know how to unlock a man?
Oh, boy, do I.
I have a chart.
Unlock a man.
How do I know if he likes me? Time, money, and energy. We all have limited resources, okay? So if he's spending his limited resources on you in the form of energy, that's how I know he likes me. They can't be friends after you've dated.
Yes, they can.
The girl who reciprocates is the one he will pursue. How do I reciprocate as a woman? AKA flirting with no possible rejection.
No possible rejection.
Yeah. It's called ACT. Okay.
What?
Look him in the eye.
The fuck?
Shoes, shirt, question in class, and elbow to shoulder, bro space. Okay. So ACT means attention, compliment, touch. That takes 2 seconds. Okay. And then you walk away. You touch him on the shoulder.
You should get your money back from going to the school.
You say, hey, I really like your shoes, while looking him in the eye, and then you walk away. It's foolproof. Okay, the most embarrassing moment of my life is that I tried to do that.
Oh, no.
I touched someone on their bro space shoulder. And then I said, I like your corduroy pants. And then I tripped. Oh my God.
And they were like,
class is terrifying. Oh my God. Okay.
Wow.
The ACTW.
I mean, it was worth it just to get to that.
Honestly. Answer the question. Am I repulsive?
Oh my God.
Keep your touch to the people you're pursuing. I'm sorry, what?
Am I repulsive? Put that fucking thought in your head.
Yeah. How are these people married
Am I
this long?
repulsive? Is that the title of the episode?
Dating is fishing.
Oh, here we go.
The women are always this is the class. This is the fucking class.
This is the
gold. Are you ready?
I mean, fishing is a well-worn practice in cults.
These are the notes that we were looking for.
Oh boy.
Okay? Your patience has paid off, my friend. Men think they're the fishers. Guys ask to get married. Women actually have all the power. Look at all the birds. Okay?
Okay.
Look at the birds. Biology and nature tell us that the men have to be the ones doing the attracting. I'm still trying to be a prize fish every day, is what the husband should say. They think they're the fishers, but women actually have all the power. How do you break up? In person, direct, honest, open communication. How do you want to be broken up with? Get it over with. Be rude!
Be rude?
Yeah, that's what it says. When it comes down to it, you have to give them no hope because they'll keep putting time, money, and energy into you. Yes, it will hurt, and they'll be hurt for a little while, but then they'll get over it. When a girl feels like they move on too quickly and they try to take them back, it's a pride issue.
Wait. Be rude?
Yeah, be brutally honest.
The complex that you could give someone.
Yeah.
If that is your approach, that is like your system.
Yeah.
Is to be rude.
Mm-hmm. When you break up with someone, because if you're not, then they'll never stop pursuing you. They'll never take no for an answer.
That's not true.
Apparently it is, though. Mm-hmm. There's a physical ladder. Did you know about the physical ladder?
No.
You're going to love this. When you're in a relationship with someone. I love how
I'm listening.
I love how I'm reading to you from this giant plastic book of made-up information. Once upon a time, there was a physical ladder. And when you're in a relationship with someone, new person, new ladder, right? But then, if you go up the ladder with one person, you hold hands, you have a back rub, you kiss.
Oh, a back rub.
You
oh, boy.
have a prolonged make out. You physically touch each other, and then you have sex. The problem is the ladder is only one way. You can never go back down. So the next person you date, holding hands feels like nothing. So you only want to have sex because that's the only thing that you can feel anymore.
That's true. You're physically numb. You can only do sex anymore.
Uh-huh. Every prolonged relationship will, and I repeat, will end in sex. It doesn't matter how good of a person you are or how good your relationship is, you will incrementally move up the ladder. You get engaged, and then in 2 weeks, you get married. Plan a party together for the next 4 months with a dress and everything.
2 weeks?
Yeah, that's what she's saying. Get engaged, date, and then get engaged, and then 2 weeks later get married because you're going to have sex if it's any longer than that. And then you won't go to heaven. So make it as short as possible, okay?
This is in a goddamn accredited class?
Yeah, you have to take it to graduate.
What the
This is Family 200!
This is criminal.
Oh my God, this is only page 3 of notes for this class. I forgot about this.
As you should. It's complete fucking garbage.
I've been dating someone for a year and we're not engaged yet. That's the real problem. It's the most powerful human experience. Because of that, it has the most power to create and destroy.
Ooh.
No doctrine says sex is bad. Don't do it. Sex is bad. A parent's guide from the 80s used the correct terminology. It's a positive thing, but wait until you're married. Sexual dysfunction is the number 2 mental Oh my God. Okay, start over. Sexual dysfunction is the number 2 mental disorder at Mormon schools because we just don't have a lot of experience with this. Eventually, having sex will be like holding hands. We put sex on a pedestal and kind of just stare at it and think, I'll be there someday. When you have kids, be open and honest with them about it. If your parents don't tell you about it, they did the wrong thing.
We don't put sex on a pedestal. We are told from infancy, basically, that it is so coveted that you must avoid it at all costs until you're married.
But then it's the most important thing that ever existed.
Right.
So it is on a pedestal, but a poisonous pedestal.
Yeah, in both ways.
Yeah.
When it's just a thing that human beings do.
Yeah.
When they are driven
It's
to do so.
What everything does.
Yeah. But we make it special about us.
Totally.
Because, of course.
Would you like to know who you can marry?
I would love to know. Because I have no idea.
Okay. So there's people. And there are the right qualities. And then there are people who have the right qualities.
Uh-huh.
And there are people that like you. And there are people that you like. And there are people who you like and who like you and who have the right qualities. So you have to find the overlap of those 3 Venn diagrams. And that's how you can marry them. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. You can marry from that pool. And you can marry any one of these people and you'll be fine. Did you know that?
No. I had no idea. I thought I was just supposed to marry anyone who liked me.
Mm-hmm.
So I could finally have sex.
The Saturday Warriors lie. We have no spiritual justification for the belief that we have the privilege of choosing our parents and our life companions in the spirit world.
Where are you getting that?
This is from Joseph Fielding Smith, Way to Perfection, page 44. This belief has been advocated by some, and it's possible that in some instances it is true, but it would require too great a stretch of the imagination to believe it to be so in all, or even in the majority of cases. Agency trumps destiny. Therefore, you can marry someone from that Venn diagram, and it's not like Saturday Warrior depicts.
Yeah, because Saturday's Warrior is absolutely ridiculous. Of course you could not pick your parents.
Of course.
Because how would you have a personality already if you didn't come from your parents?
Because quantum leaps, Daniel.
This is one of the
Dan.
Logical fallacies and just incredible leaps of imagination that you have to just completely ignore. Like, you are who you are because of the 2 people whose genetic makeup you possess. And you couldn't be anyone else. But you're only that way because of that physical makeup. Not because of you didn't come here with a personality already or a look or anything. Both your looks and your personality. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, there's nurture as well, but the nature of it, the idea that you're some already formed entity, but you pick who's going to physically make you up is absurd. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or that you know someone in the spirit world and that you know that you're going to be born in the same area so that you actually end up finding each other physically. Mm-hmm. It is child thoughts.
Do you want to know what
Spencer Comical Pimple?
SWK said, soulmates are fiction and an illusion. And while every young man and young woman will seek with all diligence and prayerfulness to find a mate with whom life can be most compatible and beautiful, yet it is certain that almost any good man and any good woman can have happiness and a successful marriage if both are willing to pay the price. That's from Ensign, March 1977. And then my teacher said, the price is 100%. If it's 50-50, you will fail. If it's 100 to 100, you cannot fail. What do you think of that?
I mean, yeah, I don't believe in the idea of soulmates either, but isn't that kind of literally the point? Is that your souls are mates forever?
Yeah, but I think that's in conjunction with the Saturday Warrior lie that you didn't pick each other beforehand. Right. But he's basically saying any 2 people can make it work.
Well, as long as you're Mormon.
Yeah, and you're trying to be like
and you
Jesus.
Get married quick and you make children who are going to be full tithe payers.
Yeah, of course. Why you shouldn't get married. Are you ready? If you just want to have sex, don't get married.
Don't do that.
If you're crazy, don't get married.
If you're crazy.
If there's any kind of abuse, maybe if they're crazy. If there's any kind of abuse, mental, physical, emotional, or verbal, if you're arguing excessively, if you just want to have a baby, if they are too dependent on their family, or if you just feel obligated because you've been dating a long time.
Okay. I mean, most that's pretty fair.
When you should get married, they have good parents. You love each other.
Yeah. Second. First, if they have good parents.
Yeah. Because I, Nephi, having been born of goodly parents, love each other. But marriage has never been about love. Two people can live together and cohabitate, but marriage is a legal bond of two people.
What is with the devaluing of love?
No idea. Sex? I don't know. You and the other person are comfortable. Don't get married. Oh. Get married if you feel comfortable with each other. It shouldn't be exciting, though. If it's comfortable,
it shouldn't
be
exciting.
But if you're too excited, don't do it, because the decision should be relaxed. It should just make sense. Don't propose in public. Get rid of the big emotions. Comfortable equals at peace with your decision. It's actually terrifying to get married.
Wait, no. It's terrifying to get married? It's supposed to be like the best.
That's what she said.
I'm so perplexed.
I think she told some anecdote where someone said, I will give you $3,000 if you get sealed next week.
What?
Let's have both families get together and celebrate the sealing. It's more important. Then go back and take the pictures and have the party, and it will be fine. So basically, like, go get married in the temple and then pretend like you're getting married and have your family there later. Just get sealed as soon as possible. Don't put it off any longer. Otherwise, you might have sex.
You might have sex.
You're not cheating until you're married. If a guy is spending time with you when it's convenient, he's your friend. If a guy is going out of his way to spend time with you, he's attracted to you.
It's not cheating until you're married?
Yeah.
This just keeps getting worse.
Yep. Mm-hmm. This is February 15th, 2016.
She's just priming people to be okay with not feeling like they're actually in love with their partner.
Mm-hmm. It's probably how she feels.
It sounds like she's projecting a lot.
Mm-hmm. Then we talked about classical conditioning. Then we talked about motivation, why we do stuff.
You know, I have, for the last few seasons, made the effort to like censor curse words and stuff.
Sure.
I'll do as much as I can, but some of this deserves full on
expletives.
Truth.
Yeah. Milestones for a child. They start as a sweet sack of sugar.
What?
Then
a sack of sugar.
Then they lift their head, which is a real accomplishment. Then they lay on their stomach with their arms supporting them and sitting up by themselves. And then they're walking alone. And then people are like, wow, you've been so mean the last few months. And then they're like, yeah, and here's why.
You're not very sweet at all. You're more like salty.
But like to the mom, they're like, wow, you've been a real bitch the last few months. And then she's like, here's why it works now. Oh my God.
You've been a real bitch.
Mm-hmm. I've been busy.
Wow.
Sublimation. BYU-Idaho is fantastic at it. Instructed to only have a sexual relationship after marriage. At the same time, we all have an increase of thanatos and libido. So we use sublimation to release unacceptable desires. You channel sexual and aggravating drives to socially and culturally acceptable activities. There's always something going on. If we stay busy doing things, then we won't get busy with each other. I just think it's funny that we have so much sublimation here on campus. Ha, ha, ha.
So much soaking on campus.
Hilarious.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to know what the kidnapping script is?
The what now?
Kidnappers are probably not likely to be armed. Approach and say, hi, is everything okay? they'll probably lie. You just ask the child, are you okay? The child, if it's really their parent, they will move towards them, shut up, and look ashamed for throwing a fit. If the child still looks terrified, then you ask the adult, they don't look okay. Are you sure they're your parent? Are you sure you're their parent? They'll probably run away and you stay with the child.
Yeah, probably. This is probably what's going to happen.
You now have the kidnapper's face, clothes, and direction. Call the police.
That's probably what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure
Mm-hmm.
that's your child?
Mm-hmm.
You sure about that?
Mm-hmm. That's how to tell if they're a kidnapper
very,
or not.
Very sound advice.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right. So that's family prep.
Awful preparation. Awful.
Just awful.
I hope that person has been fired long ago.
Oh, sorry. Prep for temple marriage.
Well,
Not for just any marriage.
not for just any old marriage.
And then I took auto mechanics 100.
You did?
Yeah. I needed another credit to keep my scholarship.
Wow. When your engine light comes on, say a prayer.
Yeah. Call your home teachers.
Yeah.
Disciple leadership in the home, learning how to really love.
No, we don't. It's okay if you don't love.
But it's okay if you don't. Yeah. Being a dominant student is a good thing because it means your mind is engaged. But don't be annoying. Don't attach a biography. Keep to the subject matter. Don't be intimidated. When you comment, you take a risk, and that engages you like nothing else and like you weren't before. So comment, take a risk.
Be dominant.
Why do we need this class? These are still notes from family prep. We came here wired to want to be in a relationship. You're down here stumbling around in the dark, but at least you have each other. And then she tells this hiking story about she went on a hike with her husband. And they ran out of flashlight battery and the sun went down. And it was terrible.
And then?
And our expectation is that newlyweds should be happy. But why do we assume that we should know how to do something that we've never done before? Why would we be happy when we get married? That doesn't make sense. You've never been married before. Utah leads the nation in numbers of divorce. USA more divorces than any other nation.
Yeah. So when you run out of batteries, don't
Go on a hike?
freak out. Yeah.
But have hope. You can develop these skills.
Skills. It's not a skill.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the intimacy pie.
Oh.
It should be mostly spiritual and emotional. We all know that. And then
And we notice.
equal parts of social and intellectual matching. And then just the smallest sliver of physical attraction.
There are some whoppers in there, man.
It just goes on and on. I have an arrow pointing from the physical slice of the pie that says 3 to 4 times a week for 20 minutes a day.
What does that mean?
And I don't know what that means, but I think it means what you think it means.
It's got to be at least 20 minutes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. As children of God, you are stronger than anything than Satan can throw at you.
Then why worry about him? And all the temptations.
Yeah.
And the porn shoulders.
Right. Okay, so there was an assignment in this class, and the prompt is, do we need someone else to complete us? And we had to write a response to the question.
Okay.
And I'm going to read this.
I mean, the short answer is, yeah, duh.
Obviously, to round out this episode. So I said, my stance on this topic is that we do not need someone to complete us. Period. Your face. Interesting.
Interesting.
While it may be true that we often do not realize just how much we need someone until they come, before they arrive and after they are gone, we can still be a complete person. In fact, we need to be. Who am I?
My sister.
In order to demonstrate the idea that we must take care of ourselves first before we can help others, this example is often used. In the event of a decompression, An oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist the other person. Before we can take care of others, we need to make sure we can survive. It is a false assumption that once we get married, all previous problems, shortcomings, and weaknesses will be solved. Quite the opposite.
Amen.
We need to help perfect each other, but we cannot fix one another. A desire to be complete and whole is a personal matter and commitment. I have never been married, but from what I have been taught, marriage is not easy. It seems that feeling that the other completes rather than just agitates you is anything but the standard. That being said, I know that marriage is between a man and a woman for a reason. The woman has qualities that the man does not, and vice versa. We need one another to reproduce successfully and fulfill our divine roles. Neither is the woman without the man, nor the man without the woman in the Lord. Even in marriage, we still need the Lord. It takes more than just two. Through the atonement of Jesus Christ, each of us can be a complete and whole person. The end. I got an A. Good. Exclamation point.
A+
was my feedback. So it started out fine and then ended in a brainwashed way, but
yeah,
I think I was trying to be nuanced. That was how I
imagine that. There's like no nuance in the lessons that you just reiterated from that class. That was wild.
That was a wild
I mean, I knew
ride.
to expect some horrific stuff, but that was beyond the pale.
Yeah,
That's
that was
truly terrible.
We can do like a part 2 if you want, and I'm just going to recycle this whole binder.
Yeah.
And then we can look through these.
That can go in the trash.
If you want, but yeah,
Okay.
this is going in the trash.
Wow.
Thanks for being with us for this episode of Siblings in Zion. Let us know if you've had any horrific experiences along these lines.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I'll just go ahead and say again to those who are listening who have reached out to us since the last time we mentioned that and said such nice things about what you've gotten out of listening to our show, giving us really encouraging words. Thank you very much, because we really appreciate that. There's been some real sweet things people have shared with us. It's really nice. Yeah, maybe we cried a little bit. I don't know.
Maybe. Thanks for going on that journey with me.
Wow. Sure did.
If you'll excuse me, I have some stuff to put in the trash.
Yeah. And I'm going to go watch Mad Men. Okay.
Great.
I'm
We all
Brother
know
Dan.
what we're doing. I'm Sister Lisa.
This has been Siblings in Zion. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.